Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to day six? Day six of the trading journey. So, I'm a little bit late again. We have 15 minutes to prep. It should be plenty of time. So, let's start marking out our our time frames and stuff like that. But before we get into that, don't forget to like and subscribe because, yeah, look at this amazing content that you're getting. I mean, watching a guy lose all his money. Now we can get into marking our time frames because I don't have a lot of time. But okay, so there's 4:30. There is 10 a.m. right there. And there's session open or Asian session open. Okay, let's mark those sessions out. Let's do them on the S&P. Here we go. And then 10 right there. Okay, now we can start marking out some highs and lows on the NAS 100 and stuff. Looks like we've pretty much smashed through all the highs of London and Asian session. So, yeah, well, mostly Asian session. No, I mean mostly London session because we still haven't finished it technically. So, yeah, okay, there is, boom. There's that high that I'm actually, I think we actually hit that today and then come back down for these lows. These London session lows and maybe even Asian session lows all the way down here. Let me actually go to the hourly. Yeah, these Asian session and London session lows. I would like to hit these or have these as our draws on liquidity for the move down basically. But we are hitting a massive move up for some reason. So I think we're manipulating into this liquidity right here and then going back down here because we haven't had any massive liquidity sweeps besides this that is kind of maybe sending us upwards to hit these highs. We come back down for these lows. So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do today. And no, I will not switch my bias again. If we don't hit the setup, we don't hit the setup. That is it, okay? That is it. I'm not losing more money to my stupid decisions. I don't think we're hitting these today. These are my obvious draws on liquidity that I can see. We have one all the way down here, I guess. Not a major low, but I mean, might as well go for it. And we have these lows all the way down here that I don't think we'll hit, but might as well have it there anyway. And then that's all the really obvious lows as of right now. My idea today is we go up. Where's my path tool? There we go. We go up. We hit these highs. Come back down. Come tap into the order block. Excuse me. The order block or like the 5-minute order block or maybe a fair value gap or something like that. And then we come down and hit all these lows maybe. Then we come up for this high. That's kind of my prediction. I don't know how well that's going to work out, but we might as well see because price action wasn't that good. Oh yeah, by the way, today's like a no news Monday pretty much. These are not Asian session lows, but it is a draw on liquidity. Here's a draw on liquidity. And here's a draw on liquidity. And then for highs, this is a draw on liquidity right here. But yeah, on the S&P, we barely moved at all. Yeah, and we don't have to worry about this fair value gap because it's been tapped into already. So that's been used up. That's fine. That's cool. So I'm hoping we hit these highs. It looks like we're about to hit these highs on the NAS and then see selling pressure out of that. That's kind of what I'm hoping right now. Okay, so yeah, my kind of plan is I'm going to be very strict now with my entry. Is we need a liquidity sweep. We need a liquidity sweep followed by a breaker structure, okay? Showing me some so this is on the 5-minute. We need a breaker structure on the 5-minute, okay? And then I look for my third confluence, my breaker blocks, order blocks, fair value gaps, all that stuff. Inverse fair value gap, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And then if I see selling pressure out of that, because I am bearish today, if I see selling pressure out of that, then I would like to enter that position then. Once I see selling pressure either through a 1-minute breaker structure or a 5-minute candle close outside of the confluence in my direction. That's kind of what I want to see. But yeah, let's wait until market open. Today's looking like a better day, I think. We're immediately gonna hit these highs pretty much. So yeah. I'll see you when market opens. I cannot speak today. Wow. This was a pretty nice trade right here. If you were trading New York like 8 a.m., then this would have been a pretty nice setup. You grab your liquidity sweep right here, boom. There's your London session liquidity sweep, and then you get a breaker structure right here. That's your most recent high. Then you get an instant retracement into your order block right here. And since this was your breaker structure here, you could also consider this a breaker, but we kind of broke through the breaker right here. And then yeah, so here's your order block that you pretty much immediately tap into once you close. Boom, and then you kind of shot up and you hit London session highs as well as I think Asian session highs. Yeah, I'll consider that a high. I would like to hit this high as soon as market opens. Like literally as soon as it opens, boom, you know? But yeah, there's pretty much no news today other than some bank holidays for Germany and... Are we going to hit these highs? Hold on. Are we going to hit these highs? Yeah, I think it's Germany and somewhere else. I can't remember now. So yeah, but we might just hit these highs. Come on. Okay, we are 8 seconds from market open, so let's see what happens in this beginning few minutes, because I feel like we're just gonna straight up hit these highs. Or we might come into this fair value gap and maybe then hit these highs, but I think we'll just hit them. I have a feeling we'll just hit them straight. Yeah, because we got very close, and I think some people got antsy. Some people got antsy, and they hit the sell button. There we go. We just hit it. Boom. Smash through it. Okay. Wow. We really hit that strong. So that's our... That's not London session. That's previous week's high. Or, sorry, not previous week's high, but previous Friday's high. So I'd like to see what sort of reaction we get out of this. I'm looking for a breaker structure now. Since we hit the liquidity, so right here, I'm looking for my breaker structure. We are on a bit of an uptrend though on the 4-hour. So yeah, I'm not worried about my bearish thing, because if it doesn't get hit, it doesn't get hit, right? Then that's just the 4-hour being stronger, which it obviously is. But yeah, hopefully we can make something shake, okay? We can make something shake. Okay, so first candle close of the market open, and it did close bullish, so we are looking for a breaker structure here. If we hit it, then I will feel quite safe going bullish. Oh, sorry, bearish. But we might end up coming to take these highs before we think about going down, which I wouldn't be surprised by, because it is quite close. The banks just might want to hit it, boom, you know, bang, you know. And I think that's kind of the move that I want to catch. It's either this one down or when we hit this down. But I would be confident entering in if we hit a breaker structure here and our third confluence. So yeah, I'll just wait until the macro opens to see what happens, because I don't think much is going to happen from now until then. We might just go down, have a breaker structure, and then a possible retracement. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Okay, we're 30 minutes from the macro, and it looks like we're a decent, like, orders were filled. We made a move down after the sweep, so possibly looking quite good here. We might see a reversal here. I don't think we're definitely not going to break structure unless we have a huge move down. Whoa, break structure, come on. No, okay, go fuck yourself. Okay, Yeah, we didn't get a breaker structure, but we did get a fair value gap, which is quite nice. Not a big one, but it's a fair value gap. I would like to see us break structure on this one, come back into the fair value gap, or the order block, or the breaker block. The breaker block and the FEG is in the same thing. That's a pretty, from what I've been hearing, that's like a pretty iconic combo. The breaker block and the FEG, which makes sense because if this bearish fair value gap is basically just the lack of buy orders, and then the breaker block is also, a lack of buy orders. Okay, we are 10 seconds away from this breaker structure, it looks like. We've got our breaker here, boom, right there. And we've got our order block also right here, boom. So it's looking pretty strong for shorts right now, I won't lie. We are looking pretty strong for shorts. I should probably get ready on my short position. We did also create a bearish SMT on the 5-minute, I'm pretty sure. Oh wait, no, we swept these highs. Oh shit. We swept London highs there. I might take it on the S&P because there is still an SMT divergence because we swept above these highs but not these highs. I'm going to wait until this candle closes to see what's going on. I would like to see a bearish close here on the S&P. We are super close to tapping into these fair value gaps and stuff on the NASDAQ, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen on this candle. But it might happen on this very next candle. But yeah, that solidifies the 1-hour S&T divergence that we have right now between these highs, boom and boom. No, sorry, these highs and these highs right here, boom and boom. And the S&P is the leading index, and also we just tapped into this order block and breaker block. So I might take the trade on the S&P because it is the leading index. I would like to see a bearish close though. There's one thing I want to see before anything else. But it looks like we're just going to push a little bit more in. Looking for a 1-minute breaker structure here as well. I'm hoping this isn't just a retracement. I'd like to see some bearish order flow starting to form here. Unless we would like to hit these highs, which I wouldn't be surprised about. But then that's going to happen quite late. We did tap into this fair value gap, to be fair. So that is probably why we're moving up. Again, I'm not going to force the trade. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I am looking for my bearish confirmation now to enter. Okay, we just ended up tapping into this fair value gap. So I'm hoping to see a reaction out of it. And a pretty strong one at that. So yeah, that's kind of the hope right now. If it does close bearish outside of these confluences, then I will be definitely happy entering in. Not much of a reaction out of it just yet. We'll have to wait on the next few candle closes. But the macro is over. So not great. We almost ended up inverting it actually, which is also not great. But nothing set in stone just yet, but the macro just did close, so yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I'll switch on the recording when anything interesting happens. Otherwise, this might just be the end of the trade. That if it's not going to give me this last little bit, then I'm not going to enter at all. We might just continue up to these highs. But that would be too late of a move for me. So the dream is not dead. The dream is not dead yet. We ended up coming and getting a pretty nice reaction, but we just entered this bullish fair value gap that is going to be a challenge to break through. But if we inverse this fair value gap, I'll be pretty content taking a save. Oh, a save. What? I've been playing too much CS:GO. I'll be pretty content taking a bearish move, and it looks like we're probably going to inverse it here. What's the S&P looking like? Yeah, same thing here. So yeah, I'm going to wait for this candle close. If it does close and inverse the gap, then yeah, I will definitely, or even just close outside the confluences. I'll be perfectly happy with that. We might have a trade set up here. If we close bearish on this, which it looks like we're going to, I'm entering in sells. I'm gonna make sure 100% on the candle close. As soon as it hits, I'm entering. As soon as it hits. Oh. Boom, candle close, I'm in. Okay, I am in. And let me just set this properly. Okay, let me just turn off the magnet for a second. I am in now, up to these highs, down to these lows on the S&P, maybe even go for this low. I'll just use these as tape profit 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to put my stop loss all the way above these highs, giving me a 2.27 risk to reward ratio, which is pretty nice. TP all the way down here, we're looking at a $122 win or a $55 loss, which is fine by me. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching through. Hopefully this trade works out. I hope your trades worked out if you took any. I'll update you guys as soon as the trade is done. I cannot speak today. I'll update you as soon as this trade is done. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. And see you when I eventually want to lose money. Yo guys, so as you can see, we got stopped out. I was quite confident about today, so I didn't expect pretty much just an instant move up from when I entered. All my signs were there, but I guess I got the bias wrong because we were in a 4-hour uptrend. So it does make sense why I lost this trade, but it is, yeah, that's pretty much my only complaint. Or how can I say it? The only thing I could say that was negative about this trade. My signs were there, and yeah, I was quite confident in the trade, but then the 4-hour does hold higher power than the 5 minutes, so yeah, ended up taking an L. Luckily we didn't risk too much. We only lost a percentage to 50%. Oh, sorry, 50%, $50. But yeah, not the greatest start to the week, but hopefully tomorrow's better. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.